right, welcome friends. Thank you so much for being here. My name is David and I'm grateful to share another practice with you. I was asked to do a practice surrounding the hips. One of my dear friends, Naomi, had asked me to do a practice focusing on specifically hip socket, motor control through the hips, as well as working through tension that can sometimes build up in the hips. I find the hips to be a really fascinating area, specifically because they are a center of mobility. And there's a lot of things that we do day to day that impact our hips, whether we realize it or not. Sitting for long periods of time, driving for long periods of time, staying stagnant. These are all things that sometimes get in the way of our ability to move forward in life. And that can cause other issues later on too, compounding that problem. We can start to have lower back issues. We can start to have digestive issues. We can have urinary tract issues. We can also have reproductive system issues, especially if there is a lot of tension that's built up throughout the pelvic girdle. So for today's practice, I'll be leading you through some hip openings. I'm hoping the practice will be right around 45 minutes to an hour. If it's a little bit longer, so be it. But I hope you enjoy the practice. If you have any questions afterwards, please feel free to reach out, and I'll help you as much as I can, okay? As we get set up, you can see behind me that I have a bolster, I have 2 blocks, I have a blanket, a yoga mat, and straps. If you're following along, follow along with me, and I'm gonna head over to the mat and we're gonna get started. All right. So as you come over to your yoga mat, we're going to have the blocks set up into a T-like shape. I have one on the medium height and I have one on the low height. And then I'm going to place a bolster on top of this to help elevate my spine, my neck, and my head. I'm going to take my lower back, tailbone, sacrum, and have it resting just against the bolster. Then I'm going to tilt my head back, and my head is supported by the block and the bolster. Now from here, I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together, and I'll let my knees go wide apart. We'll place the left hand over the heart, and the right hand on the belly. And as we arrive into our practice, begin to let go of your day. Whether you're watching this practice in the morning or in the evening, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is clear some space. Whatever we did building up to this moment, just putting it aside. And then allow the collarbones to spread and open. Maybe you can draw the shoulder blades down the back to create some space between the upper shoulders and the ears. If this is any strain on your neck, feel free to also place another blanket or a small pillow underneath your head. Letting go of our day, letting go of our week, letting go of what's next and what's to come. Begin to observe the breath. Observe the inhales and the exhales. Observe the depth, pace, and balance in the breath. Keep relaxing into the inner groin, allowing the outer knees to move down towards the ground. Let's take some time to breathe together. Please take a long, slow breath in, filling your lungs up. And exhale, letting it go. Deep breath in, please fill your lungs all the way up. Exhale, letting it go. Big breath in, please fill your lungs all the way up. Exhale, letting it go. Continue to breathe deep on your own. And as you breathe deep on your own, scan through your bodies from your head to your toes, observing any stress, any tension, tightness, soreness, imbalances of any kind. As we move deeper into our practice, stay with the breath, let go of what you can. Be here now. If you have any intentions for your practice, personal goals, something you're working through, letting go of, creating, manifesting, I always suggest perhaps using an intention for your practice. That way you can keep your practice focused. You have your breath, you have your intention, you have your body. And as you focus on your intention, whatever it may be, imagine every cell in your body filled with that intention. Remember, thoughts become words, become actions, become habits, become a character, become our destiny. It all starts with our thoughts. Breath retention. Please take a long, slow, full, deep breath in, filling your lungs all the way up at the top, holding your breath. Sip a little bit more air. Hold and focus on your intention. Relax into your body. Keep holding the breath. Every cell in the body filled with that intention. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. And we'll do an Om to begin with, inhaling. Inhale, fill lungs up. And exhale, side out. Gently release the arms down along the sides. And if you'd like to blink the eyes open, you can. Now, we've been holding this posture for several minutes now. And there's a saying in yoga that the posture begins the moment we want to get out of the pose. And I find this is so important in the practice because, if we are sometimes on the more high-strung side, if we are a type A personality, which I've had to learn to work through significantly, if we have that monkey mind where it's go, 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 then this concept or idea of slowing down and holding a posture is going to seem very uncomfortable, and it's going to bring up a lot of stuff internally. It's important, I feel, to recognize that as an aspect of the practice, but also not get caught up in it, because the fact of the matter is if we are having those sorts of thoughts coming up in a posture that we're holding 3-4 minutes, well, there's a pretty good chance that it's coming up when we're sitting in traffic. There's a pretty good chance that it's coming up when we are maybe having a tenuous conversation with somebody. That stuff is going to show up. That's why it's so important to be with the breath, to slow it down, why that practice of patience is actually a virtue, and we can learn to work with it. So we are going to move out of this posture slowly. Let's slowly take our hands down to the outer knees, and on an inhale, let's bring the knees together, supporting the outer thighs with the hands. And then let's let our legs go long. Now, as we let our legs go long, I'd like you to just gently shake the legs out. So in clinic today, oddly enough, we were talking about how animals, there's a book called Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, and it talks about how animals have an automatic response to stress, and that is to shake things off. Keep shaking your legs out. But as human beings, we tend to hold that stress in, and we don't shake that off, and then what ends up happening is it ends up compounding, and it ends up building up over time. Go ahead and relax your legs. Please bring your right knee into your chest, interlace the hands around the right shin, and then still staying supported on your bolster, if you're still there, or on a pillow, I'd like you to just rock side to side, ever so gently. Don't rock yourself off. You're just gonna rock the right knee side to side to start to stretch into the outer glutes, IT bands, maybe a little bit into the inner groin. But going back to what I was saying about animals, animals have a natural way of letting go of tension. And we don't think it's strange. In fact, we think it's usually pretty humorous or kind of funny, but that's a natural built-in system. And for us, because it's not necessarily a social behavior, we can get embarrassed by it, we kind of get tweaked out by it. But I feel it is important to just rock and shake things out sometimes. All right, let's bring our right knee back towards center. The right thigh draws in towards the right rib cage. We flex our right foot, we flex our left foot, shoulder blades down the back. Let's take 5 big breaths here. Inhale fully. Exhale. In and out through the nose. Inhaling. Exhaling. Three more. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. Exhale. Please release the right leg down and then lightly shake the right leg out. And then we'll slowly bring our left knee into our chest, opposite interlace of the hands around the left shin. And then ever so gently, without coming off your bolster, just rock your left knee side to side, back and forth, back and forth. We're just feeling into our glutes, our IT bands, the abductor muscles in the outer left thigh. Keep the breath steady and slow. Try to breathe down into your lower belly, and we'll bring our left knee back into our chest. We'll flex our right foot, we'll flex our left foot, we'll spread to the collarbones and draw the shoulder blades down the backs. Big breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. Let's take 3 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Two more. Inhale. Relax the face. Exhale. Relax your forehead and eyes. One more. Inhaling. And exhale. All right. Slowly release the left leg down and then shake the left leg out. Very good. Now, if you have a strap, please grab your strap, and we're going to take the strap around the right foot. If you can't stay elevated, I recommend still staying elevated. If you slip down a little bit, that's okay. But you're going to take the strap to the arch of the right foot. Now, if your strap is long enough, try to bring your elbows down towards the ground. If it's not, that's okay. Focus on lengthening your right leg. Don't worry about how high you take it. It doesn't have to be a 90-degree bend. Maybe it's a little further than 90 degrees. That's okay too. But wherever you're at, remember, we're not forcing the pose. You'll notice if you begin to force the pose, because you'll start to grit your teeth, you'll start to, maybe whisper some things underneath your breath. Why am I still, this hurts, well, all kinds of stuff. We want to maintain the posture with steadiness and pleasant ease. Now, if we're new to stretching, it may not be as pleasurable at first, but that's just because we have to break through some of that stress that's been in the body that maybe we've neglected for a period of time. As you press your right heel upwards, draw your right hip away from the right shoulder. Once again, collarbones spread. There's a theme here, open chest. 5 deep breaths. Inhale fully. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhaling. Let's take 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. And 1 more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Slowly bend the right knee. As you bring the right knee into your chest, remove the strap. Take your right leg long again. Shake the right leg out. And if you need to release the strap for a moment, just open and close the hands. Feel free to open and close the hands. All right, let's go over to our left leg. So we'll bend our left knee. We'll take the strap right around the center of the arches of the feet. Now for everybody, this is going to be a little different. If you want more of a stretch in the calf, you'll take it to more of the ball mound of the foot. If you want more of a stretch in the hamstring, take the strap more to the heel. I like to find a happy medium. So we'll take it right in the center of the arch of the foot. And then same thing. Elbows draw down at the ground. Try to straighten your left leg. As you straighten the left leg, flex the left foot, press your left heel upwards towards the sky. Keep the chest open. Breathe into the back of the left hamstring. Slowly release the jaw, release the forehead and eyebrows. 5 deep breaths. Inhale fully. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. Three more. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, don't strain it. Inhale. And exhale. Very good. Slowly remove the strap, bend the left knee into your chest, and then slowly release the left leg down, lightly shake the left leg out. Okay, from here, let's put a gentle bend in the knees. We're gonna stay elevated. I'm just gonna scoot up a little bit because I noticed my body slipped down. You can too if you'd like. We're gonna separate our feet. Now take them as wide apart as you can. And all you're gonna do is, think knock knee, we're gonna drop the knees inwards towards each other. Now, you'll probably feel this in the outer hip. Okay, and let's just hold here. So we're rolling onto the inner arches of the feet. We're lifting the outer arches of the feet. The inner knees are moving, rotating inward and downwards towards the ground. If you like to and you have the space, you can cactus your arms or take your arms out to the sides. You decide what's best for your body. As we hold here, try not to puff the breath. Breathe slowly, breathe steady. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Three more. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Very good. Now you probably noticed during that time, maybe not, but perhaps the intensity weared off a little bit. And it's true, the longer we tend to hold a pose, the more that intensity will start to back off. Initially, that intensity will seem like a lot, but through adaptive capacity of your body, remember your body's intelligent, it's going to be able to relax eventually. We just got to give it space and time to be able to do so. All right, what I'd like you to do is take your hands to the tops of the thighs and just using the hands, let the knees come up. All right, from here, let's bring the feet and knees together, and all we're gonna do is roll to our right side. You're gonna come off your bolster, come off the blocks. You're gonna put them behind you or in a place that's not in your way, and we're gonna come back onto our backs. I'm gonna keep this blanket underneath me. If you have one underneath you, totally fine. right, so as we come back onto our backs, take your feet approximately mat's distance apart, cactus your arms, palms face up, and all we're going to do is some movement patterns in the hips by taking our knees to the right and to the left with the breath. So we'll do 5 rounds, inhaling to the right, exhaling to the left, and then we'll switch that. We'll do 5 rounds, inhale to the left and exhale to the right. Let's go slow. Inhale, gently take your knees over to your right. Exhale, take the knees over to your left. Turn your head to the right. Inhaling, knees to the right, head turns to our left. Exhale, knees to the left, head turns to our right. You'll probably feel this in the hips and perhaps the side waist, side back. Inhale, knees right, head turns to our left. Exhaling, knees to the left, head turns to our right. Inhale, knees to our right, head turning to our left. Exhaling, knees to our left, head turning to our right. One more. Inhaling, knees to our right, head turning to our left. And exhale, knees to our left, head turns to our right. Slowly bring your knees back to center. And then let's do the same thing, only inhaling to the left and exhaling to the right. Let's begin. Inhale, knees left, head turns to the right. Exhaling, knees to our right, head turning to our left. Inhale, knees to the left, head turning to our right. Exhaling, knees to our right, head turning to our left. 3 more rounds. Inhale, knees to the left, head turning to our right. Exhale, knees to our right, head turns to our left. Slow down, take your time. Inhale, knees to the left, head turns to our right. Exhale, knees to the right, head turns to our left. And inhale, knees to our left, head turns to our right. And exhaling, knees to the right, head turns to the left. All right, slowly coming back towards center. Let's bring the left knee to the chest, bring your right knee to the chest, right hand to right knee, left leg goes long, left hand to the left hip point. Then from here, let's just slowly circle the right knee up. Take your time. Now, tight hips, tight pelvic girdle can lead to a lot of issues in both men and women. I'm going to specifically talk towards the men on this one. Sitting a lot, sometimes, if you're a cyclist, for instance, or a motorcyclist, I used to be one for a long time. Eventually, I'd actually like to get back into it again. But these are all seated postures that put a lot of stress on the prostate, as well as the muscles that surround the prostate. As sensitive as a topic that this may be, I recognize this can lead to prostate issues. It can lead to potential enlargement of the prostate. It can also lead to urination problems, and it can also lead to erectile dysfunction. Because when there is not blood flow, when there is tension through that area, it makes it more difficult for a male, to be able to receive blood flow into that area and to be stimulated. Now, opposite direction with the right knee. Take your time opening up the hip. A lot of this can be remedied through proper stretching. A lot of it can be remedied through being present with our bodies. I feel sometimes, especially as we get older, there's shame around topics like this, and so it becomes very difficult for men to discuss. But I feel it's an important one to bring up. I feel very fortunate, never had any issues with that so far, knock on wood. And I feel that when we have a steady practice that allows us to open up, stretch the body, we don't have as many maladies in and around that area. Of course, this also affects other things too, like digestive tracts, being able to eliminate waste. The list goes on. But all we're doing is just bringing more conscious awareness to that space and area. Let's bring our right knee back into our chest. Take a big breath in, fill lungs up. And on the exhale, gently release the right leg down. And that way too, like for men, you're not stuck taking medications for different issues going on in that particular region of the body. I like to consider many times we treat symptoms rather than getting to the root cause. Let's talk about the root causes of these things instead of simply treating symptoms over and over and over again. Let's bring the left knee into the chest, left hand to the left knee, right hand to the right hip point. Slowly begin to circle your left knee out. Now, another area in which we can be affected too, this goes for both men and women, and women are also affected down there too, don't get me wrong. I just don't feel that I have the expertise to be in knowledge enough to be able to speak in that area right now. But another area that tends to build up, because the body works in chains, the lower back starts to feel a lot of that tension. Tight hamstrings, tight hips, tight lower back, tight shoulders. It all works together. We have to look, I feel we have to look at the body as a vehicle, as a mechanism of movement. And so we have to also diagnose where are there areas of movement where we're not able to progress. You would do the same thing with your car. If you had issues with a transmission, if you had issues with an axle or a wheel, you would want to know what was going on with it. I think sometimes we take these bodies for granted and we don't give them the encouragement and love and nourishment that they need in order for them to function properly for us, which oftentimes can lead to a decline later on, sometimes earlier than we wish. Let's circle the left knee in the opposite direction. I feel like we should be talking about this very fact-mentally. There should not be any shame around these types of topics because, especially, if you have children are watching every movement that you make as an adult. I'm learning this because I have 3 stepkids. But they're watching everything we do and they mimic our behaviors. And as they mimic our behaviors, they take on different postures, just like us too. And whether we realize it or not, through socialized conditioning, that child is now mimicking an adult, and they may be mimicking bad habits and patterns as well too. Just something to look out for, that's all. We'll take a couple more rounds in this direction. Very good. And then let's bring the left knee to the chest. Let's bring our right knee into our chest. Let's hug it all in. Take a big breath. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. All right. Let's rock over to our right side again. And then use your left hand to press yourselves up. And I'd like us to come onto our hands and knees. We're going to come into a low runner's lunge. Grab your blocks if you have your blocks. You're going to place the hands on the blocks. You walk the knees back. I'm going to use a blanket underneath my knees just for a little extra added support. You'll step your right foot between the hands. Right knee over right ankle. As you sit your hips and pelvis forward and down, draw your left hip forward and lift your chest up. Now the blocks are there for support. If you need extra blocks, if you need to raise up the height of the blocks, please do so. But mainly, and again, most importantly, feel supported in your practice. Don't force anything. Looking forward, let's take 5 deep breaths. You should feel this through the left hip flexors, left psoas, left iliacus, perhaps left quad. You should also perhaps feel this in your right hamstring. Deep breath in. Exhaling. Full breath in. Exhaling. Let's take 3 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And 1 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. All right. From here, all we're going to do is slide the right foot back. We'll bring the right knee to meet the left, and then we'll switch. We'll step our left foot forward. We'll bend into the left knee. The right hip will draw forward. And as you bend into the left knee, walk the hands back if you need to. Shoulders are over the wrists. The spine is long. Try to take your right hip just a little further forward to even the hips out. And you should feel a stretch through the right psoas, iliacus, right quadricep, left hamstring. This will help to alleviate some of that stress in your lower back as well. Big breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhaling. 3 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. Inhale. Exhale. All right. From here, let's slide the left foot back. And then we're going to take our blocks out in front of us. We'll take our knees wide apart. We'll bring our big toes to touch. If you want to slide the blocks forward, you can. We're going to come into a child's pose. Now, something that's nice, and I don't have any with me right now, but if you have like a 10-pound sandbag, they make some specific ones for yoga and movement. You can place these long sandbags over your back, and it provides a really nice weight to help you move into the posture a little bit more. Let the chest move through the arms, let the forehead come down, collarbones spread, keep your hips dropping back. If you want to separate the knees a little more, you can. You know, it took me years before my chest could move down towards the ground. I don't feel like it makes you a good yogi or a good practitioner, a bad practitioner. I always say, you know, don't compare yourself to what you see on the screen. Everybody's body's different, and it's all based upon how we've conditioned it. Deep breath in. Exhale. Full breath in. Exhaling. And one more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Good. Now you can stay here a little longer if you like. Or you can slowly start to walk your hands in, press into your palms, bending the elbows, straightening through the arms, lifting your chest up. All right. Let's come on to our buttocks. And I'm going to remove the props off of my mat so I can sit on my mat. If you have tight hips, I always recommend to sit on something to elevate the hips. If you don't have tight hips, don't worry about it. One of the fundamental postures in yoga, the one I'm sitting in right now, is called Sukhasana, and it does encourage us to open our hips. Now, for many people, this or what is sometimes called lotus, this posture is the meditative pose. Now, some people are probably looking at this going, oh God, my knees. Take your time with this stuff. When I first started practicing yoga, I used to force myself into a lot of poses. Some of you that have been following me, over the years through Instagram, I really learned a lot through that because I ended up sustaining a lot of injuries in that process because it was more important to show a pose than it was to actually do something right. And if we're really doing a posture right, it's going to take time for us to open up the body. And I always encourage that for people. Just because you see something online or on social media and it looks pretty and everything, don't force your body into a pose because your body will take that on and it could produce a further injury down the line, which you don't want. So as we come into a comfortable cross-seated position, hands on knees, palms face down, lift the chest up, inhale. Exhale, let's just circle our spines out. You can go to the right or to the left. Inhaling as you rise. Exhaling as you dive down. Inhaling as you rise. Exhaling as you dive down. 3 more. Inhale, rising. Exhale, diving down. 2 more. Inhale, rise. Exhale, diving down. 1 more. Inhale, rising. And exhale, diving down. Inhale, rising back up. Let's switch the crossing of the legs. We want to balance this out some. So other shin on top. Hands on knees, palms face down, chest lifts, inhale. Let's just go in the opposite direction, circle it out. Inhale, rising. Exhale, diving down. 4 more. Inhale, rise. Exhale, diving down. Inhale, rise, get into your lower back, sideways. Exhale, diving down. Last 2. Inhale, rising. Exhale, diving it down. 1 more. Inhaling, rise. And exhale, diving it down. Inhaling, rise, we come up. All right, very good. So this next one we're going to do is a variation of a figure 4 pose. You can do this at a wall, you can do this at your desk if you'd like. I'm going to do this at the wall directly behind me. I'm not going to mirror on this. I'm going to do the same as I'm asking you to do. You're gonna bend your left knee, and to the best of your ability, you're gonna cross your right foot over the left thigh. Now you can start out down here and slide the foot in. You decide what's right for you. But what you're gonna wanna do is bring your left heel and inch the left heel towards the buttocks. And you'll flex the right foot. You'll take your right elbow to the wall, you'll take your right hand to the right knee, and you'll gently press the right knee away from you. Try to have your head against the wall. So the back of the head is pressing against the wall, and you'll flex your right foot. This is a hip opener if you have tight hips. Let's take 5 breaths here. Try not to escape the pose, be in it. Inhale. Exhale. 4 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. 3 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. 1 more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Very good. Slowly slide your left foot forward. Uncross your right leg. Shake your right leg out. Let's go over to the other side. And notice the difference. Which side's tighter, your right side or your left side? So you can cross the left ankle over the right thigh. You can slide the right foot in. Pause here. Try to bring the right heel towards the buttocks. Remember, we're not over cranking it. We're not trying to overdo it. We're just meeting our bodies where they're at. The minute you begin to make faces, probably going a little bit too hard. Take the left hand to the inner left knee, left elbow to the wall, or if you're seated, you can just start to lean over and press your left knee towards the ground. You decide whatever position that you are in. 5 deep breaths. Inhale fully. Exhaling. 4 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. 3 more. Inhale. Exhaling. 2 more. Inhale. Exhaling. Keep relaxing the hip. Inhale. Exhaling. Good. Slowly slide the right foot forward. Uncross the left leg. Shake the legs out. And coming back to a cross-seated position again. Now, the other reason why I mention this pose is because when the hips are open and we get accustomed to this posture, this is the preferred meditative posture. But when we have tight hips, it becomes very difficult to sit in this posture for a long period of time. And it's in those moments that we are in a seated posture in meditation that we are most present. You know, I sometimes will lead meditations when people lay on their backs. That's not a bad thing, but excuse me, but there can be more of a possibility of falling asleep rather than being present throughout the meditation. Whereas when we encourage open hips, encourage open body, we can begin to sit for longer periods of time in this posture without there being as many issues coming up. The feet won't fall asleep as much. There won't be as many struggles in seated postures. And then in doing that, we can look inward and do more of that inward work, which I encourage as practitioners is, you know, whether you love cardio, if you like, HIIT classes, if you like lifting weights, that's all well and good. But balancing that out with being still is also very important too. Because it's in those times of stillness, we really get to see some of the internal interface that's taking place. And they say it's true, the internal is the reflection of the external. So, we just keep encouraging this practice, try to balance out your practice with some meditation as well too. With that said, we're going to end in a seated posture today, just taking a few breaths together. I didn't want this to be an overly complicated practice for individuals, but also wanted to give some gentle instruction on how to open up the hips a little bit more and to encourage movement like that. So let's sit with the legs crossed, hands in the lap, left hand on top of the right, collarbone spread, shoulder blades down the back. Please take a long, slow, deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Deep breath in. Exhale, letting it go. Just a few more. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Please place your hands over your hearts. Come back to the intentions for your practice today. Let's finish our practice with an Om, focusing on your intention. Inhaling. Inhale, fill lungs up. Exhale, bow the head down towards the hands and the hearts, honoring yourselves, your practices, for showing up on your mats. We honor all of our friends, families, loved ones, and supporters in our lives. Gratitude for all the miracles, blessings, gifts, and abundance that show up for us. And gratitude to the many teachers and guides who came long before us, who passed along the practices we call yoga. Releasing your hands down, opening the eyes, and lifting your chins. Thank you so much, friends, for practicing along with me. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. If you have any feedback, please feel free to share some feedback. As always, I appreciate you. I love you. Ho'oponopono, aho, namaste. Thank you so much, everyone.